this house of Keir Starmer will all start crumbling and falling down. They just think the law isn't there for them.
Something extraordinary just happened in Westminster Abbey that nobody saw coming. Prince William stood up and defended his father, King Charles, in a way that broke 70 years of royal tradition, and the Prime Minister's reaction was caught on camera for everyone to see. Less than an hour ago, Prince William walked into Westminster Abbey for what everyone thought would be a normal royal event. But what came next was anything but normal. Instead of the usual polite smiles and careful words, William said something that made the entire room go silent. He spoke just 12 words, but those words changed everything. My father's wisdom and dedication to this nation require no defense from any politician. The moment he said that, you could hear a pin drop. Prime Minister Keir Starmer was standing just a few meters away, and his face went pale. The cabinet ministers next to him looked uncomfortable and didn't know where to look. So what caused this dramatic moment? 3 days ago, some private WhatsApp messages were leaked to the press. These messages showed that people working for Keir Starmer had been planning a campaign to make King Charles look bad. The messages came from senior sources in the Conservative Party, and they revealed something shocking. Labour strategists had been planning to paint the king as someone who interferes too much in politics, someone who is out of touch with regular people, and even a threat to democracy. One message from a Downing Street aide was particularly harsh. It said, "We need to make Charles the villain. Old, interfering, unelected. The public needs to see him as the problem, not us." The strategy was clear and simple. They wanted to destroy the king's reputation to help Labour's falling popularity in the polls. But the story gets even more troubling. Documents leaked to the Telegraph newspaper showed that Labour had been planning this attack for months. They even hired American political consultants, the same people who worked on aggressive campaigns in the United States, to help them create messages that would make people stop supporting the royal family. And here's the part that really upset people. This operation cost over £300,000 of taxpayer money. Think about that for a moment. While British families are struggling to pay their energy bills and buy food, the government was spending their money to attack the king. Prince William decided he couldn't stay quiet anymore. The Prince of Wales, who usually stays away from political fights, made a choice that palace insiders say has never been done before. He would break royal protocol, speak out publicly, and do it right in front of all the politicians. People close to William say he spent 2 full days writing his response with help from constitutional experts and senior advisors. Princess Catherine reportedly supported him strongly, telling him, "Your father needs you. Britain needs you. If not now, then when?" A family friend shared this conversation, showing how emotional this decision was for William. When William spoke at Westminster Abbey, his words were calm but powerful. He said, "For centuries, the crown has served this nation with dignity, wisdom, and unwavering dedication. My father has devoted his entire life to the people of Britain, to our environment, to our communities, to everything that makes this country great. His wisdom and dedication to this nation require no defense from any politician." The way he emphasized that last word, politician, made it clear who he was talking about. Everyone in the room understood he meant Keir Starmer. Within minutes, social media went crazy. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok all exploded with posts about what happened. The hashtag #DefendTheCrown became #1 worldwide in less than 20 minutes. Videos of William's statement got millions of views before Starmer's team could even write a response. The cameras caught Keir Starmer's reaction, and it told the whole story. The man who had been attacking the monarchy just days before now stood completely silent. He wasn't angry or defiant. He just looked shocked and frozen, like a student who got caught doing something wrong by the teacher. Body language experts who watched the video said Starmer's hands were shaking slightly, and he kept swallowing. They called it a classic sign of someone feeling publicly humiliated. Even people who have voted Labour their whole lives started questioning their support. Margaret Davies, a 64-year-old retired nurse from Cardiff, posted a video that quickly went viral. She said, "I've supported Labour through thick and thin. But watching Keir stand there, speechless while a prince defends his father, that's not strength, that's weakness, that's shame." Her video has been shared over 800,000 times. Meanwhile, British veterans who fought for the country are being forgotten. Michael Patterson, a 71-year-old Falklands veteran, was found last week living under Waterloo Bridge in freezing cold weather. His pension after 40 years of service barely covers his medicine. With tears in his eyes, he told reporters, "I fought for this country. I watched my friends die for this country. And now, I can't even afford a roof over my head." New statistics show that over 6,000 former soldiers are homeless in Britain right now. While Michael and thousands like him sleep under bridges, Downing Street spent £1.2 million last month on diversity consultants and media strategists. One particularly shocking expense was £38,000 spent on training junior ministers how to avoid answering questions honestly. Even the Daily Mirror, which has always supported Labour, ran a front-page headline that said, "Veterans freezing while Starmer plots against the King. When your own supporters turn against you, that's a serious problem." Then King Charles himself did something unexpected. At a private dinner at Buckingham Palace last night, the King spoke to Commonwealth leaders from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and 15 other countries. He said, "The Crown does not engage in political battles. We serve, we do not rule. But we also do not abandon the principles that have kept this nation stable through centuries of challenge." Palace insiders say these words were carefully chosen and reviewed by lawyers. The King was sending 3 messages at once. To Starmer, he was saying, "You've crossed a line." To William, he was saying, "I support what you did." To the British people, he was saying the monarchy stays steady while politicians panic. Behind the scenes, senior members of the House of Lords are preparing something that hasn't been done since 1783. Lord Harrington, who has 40 years of experience in constitutional law, has been quietly talking to legal experts about whether they can officially criticise a sitting Prime Minister for attacking the monarchy. 3 senior Labour peers have privately said they would support this action. That means members of Starmer's own party would publicly rebuke him. The economic impact has been immediate and severe. The pound sterling dropped 1.4%, wiping billions from pension funds and savings accounts. Currency traders in London described the mood as panicked. One senior trader told Bloomberg, "Constitutional instability is the one thing markets absolutely cannot price. If Britain's foundational institutions are in question, everything becomes unpredictable." Labour's poll numbers have collapsed to historic lows. The latest YouGov survey shows Conservatives at 38%, Reform UK at 26%, and Labour at just 23%. For the first time in modern British history, the governing party is in 3rd place. Among voters over 50, Labour's support has fallen to just 17%. Internal Labour polling shows they would lose over 150 seats if an election happened today. That would be their worst result since 1935. Protests have erupted across London, Manchester, Birmingham and Glasgow, with tens of thousands of people attending. These aren't organised political rallies. These are regular British people who feel their traditions are under attack. In Leeds, protesters carried a huge banner that said, "Respect our King Sack Starmer," that stretched across an entire city block. Inside Downing Street, the atmosphere is chaotic. Ministers are shouting at each other in hallways. Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves was reportedly heard screaming at Starmer's chief strategist, "You've destroyed us. You've destroyed everything we built." Prince William isn't finished yet. Sources say he's been holding quiet meetings with Reform UK leader Nigel Farage, Conservative leadership, and even moderate Labour MPs who are horrified by what Starmer has done. William reportedly starts each meeting by saying, "I'm not here as a political figure. I'm here as someone who loves this country and wants to ensure we don't tear ourselves apart." Parliament returns tomorrow morning and Keir Starmer must face Prime Minister's questions with his authority destroyed and his party plotting against him. Conservative leader Rishi Sunak is preparing what insiders call the most devastating parliamentary attack in modern history. Reform UK is calling for an emergency vote of no confidence that could trigger an early election. Professor David Langford from Cambridge University told the BBC, "We're witnessing a confrontation between elected power and constitutional tradition, unlike anything since the English Civil War. If Starmer pushes forward, he risks fracturing the nation permanently. If he backs down, he's finished politically. There's no way out. Britain is watching this unfold in real time, and nobody knows what happens next.